Oh, reading is fun and math is great, but now it's time for art with Miss Kate.
Buenos dias, artistas. Hello, artists. Today, Emmylou, the art dog, and I are going to teach you about a fall classic, leaf rubbing. Lori Worth taught me this lesson a long time ago when I was her student teacher, and it's become one of my favorites. I don't do it every year because I don't like people to get bored with art, but this is a great lesson to do for our Art at Home series because it's one we all can do. I would say third grade on up can do it by themselves, and younger kids can do it with help. They might need help rubbing the leaf. I start out with crayons. And it's important that the crayons don't have paper on them or they won't work. So before the video, I did this rubbing so that my movie doesn't end up being too long. I want you to notice this is junk mail. Last week I had a student say, I don't have any paper. I want you to start asking mom and dad for junk mail because you can use it and turn it into artwork very easily. Usually the backside is blank. So here I rubbed several leaves. Let me show you how I did that. Leaves have a side where the veins are more prominent and a side where they're flatter. I like to use the prominent side. I think it's easier to rub, okay? And I go with the direction of the leaf, kind of find the center and rub out like this. Of course, if you don't like your rubbing, just do another one over it. You can do this project where you have many leaves and paint the whole thing with one color. You can use a few different colors. There's so many ways you can do this. And especially if you're using junk mail, you can do a lot of them. So here's this leaf. Now, let me try a smaller leaf of maple. I'm going to make sure I put it vein side up. I often turn my paper upside down because it's easier for me to reach it, okay? I'm not saying you have to do that, it's just a little trick that I learned a long time ago. And if your leaf moves around, just try another one. We're not really worried about being perfect when we make art. We're just trying to have fun and do our best. This is a phlox leaf. Let me try that one. I'm trying to use colors that I think will show up in the filming process. I learned a while ago pencil doesn't show up very well, and light colors do not show up very well. So now I want to take a shortcut because I don't like my movies to be too long. Oh wait, before the shortcut I want to show you my piece of grass. You can also rub things like grass. This is a decorative grass, okay? It grows in my front yard. And you can do something like this. It doesn't have to be a leaf. A pine cone would be too three-dimensional, but if it's sort of flat, you can probably do a rubbing with it. So flower petals work. Doesn't have to be a leaf. So there, I did that cool grass. So now my shortcut is I'm going to switch to this one. And when I paint, I want to think about my color choices a little bit. So this is turquoise. If I go over this with my blue or purple, you're not going to see my leaf veins very well. But if I go over it, say, with orange, where there's a lot of contrast, then my leaf will show up. I'm not saying it's wrong to go over it with a similar color. I'm just telling you that if you do, the leaf won't show up very well. And you might like that more subtle approach. That's fine. You're the artist. You can do it the way you want to. And you would keep going until all your leaves are painted. And then you want to paint your background. So here I have a lot of finished ones you can look at. All I did to achieve this was paint all my leaves. So I did all my oranges first, then I did all my pinks, then I did all my turquoise, then I did all my blue, and then I did my black background. And the reason I do all my oranges at the same time is then you clean your brush less often. It isn't wrong to do it the other way, but it helps keep your water and your brush cleaner longer. Now I want to show you a way to do this if you don't have paint at home. And by the way, if you want to do just the rubbing and not paint, that's fine too. Let's say you don't have paint at home, but you still want to do this project. You can take your leaves and you can trace them, and you can try to find their vein structure and draw them with a marker. You might want to start with pencil first. I am not going to start with pencil first because I learned it won't show up in the movie for you. It'll be very hard for you to see. But let's say I want to do this leaf. I'm going to put it this way, vein side up, because it's easier to trace. It's flatter that way. Okay? And as I said, if you use pencil first, then you can erase anything you want to. There's just no point in me doing that because you won't see it on the movie. Okay? So here, tracing is a nice way to get your general shape with ease and without frustration. Do you have to trace? No, if you want a freehand, go ahead. So there I have my leaf. Now I'm going to start drawing my veins. I forgot my stem line, that's okay, I'm going to add it. You don't have to use a black marker. I'm using black because I know that it'll show up really well for those of you who are watching. And you would just keep going. Look very carefully at what you see, and you can draw leaves and rub leaves and paint leaves. All right, my friends, I hope you have a great time with this classic fall project. I sure do miss you. Bye-bye.